Why did Jungkook appear so shaken upon hearing the news about Taehyung's health? What's really going on behind the scenes that made ARMY hysterically moved and surprised? A shocking report emerged in the midst of Kim Taehyung's rest period following his military service. Following his much-anticipated return by fans, the public was stunned by internal reports stating that his health had drastically declined. This didn't only gain the attention of global media and fans, but also deeply affected his bandmate Jungkook, who was said to be in tears upon hearing the news directly from internal sources. This incident happened suddenly and was not widely known to the public. Based on information circulating within South Korea's entertainment industry, Jungkook, who has been known to keep a low profile since Taehyung completed his military service, reportedly took steps that were never publicly revealed. He is said to have visited Taehyung secretly and offered emotional and personal support that shocked both the medical staff and the agency involved. Initial reports stated that Taehyung was in stable condition after completing his military service. But days later, an internal military source claimed that Taehyung experienced a significant decline in stamina. This prompted additional private medical procedures. The condition became more serious when medical teams advised that Taehyung undergo further private recovery, with limited public information released to maintain his privacy. However, what stirred an emotional storm among ARMY was an unofficial report stating that Jungkook was the first to hear the news from medical personnel handling Taehyung. According to an unnamed HYB staff member, Jungkook immediately contacted the military hospital and requested private access to visit Taehyung. The request was granted under strict conditions, given their status as major public figures requiring tight security. During the visit, held under strict confidentiality, Jungkook reportedly brought Taehyung's personal belongings he had kept, including a small painting Taehyung made during training and a handwritten letter. An emotional interaction took place between them, and according to the source, Jungkook couldn't hold back his tears during the visit. One nurse even said it was the most silent and emotional moment they had ever witnessed while on duty at the facility. Jungkook's reaction raises a serious question. What is really happening with Taehyung? Why did his health deteriorate so suddenly after his military discharge? And why does it seem that only Jungkook knew the real situation before the information spread to the media? As of this report, HYB Labels has not issued any official statement. However, several fans who closely follow the members' activities began to point out small clues from Jungkook's social media activity in recent days. He hasn't been seen doing live broadcasts and even declined several interviews and variety shows he had previously confirmed. Many link this behavior to Taehyung's condition. Meanwhile, speculation continued over what illness or health issue Taehyung might be facing. Some sources suggest physical strain from intense military training, while others speculate about psychological conditions stemming from the pressure during military service. There's been no clear confirmation, and both his family and management have stayed silent to protect Taehyung's peace. Jungkook's decision to stay silent and take personal action instead of making public statements is viewed by fans and industry observers as a noble act. A senior entertainment journalist in South Korea said Jungkook's actions reflect the deep solidarity among BTS members, especially considering their long relationship since their trainee days. This isn't just solidarity, it's proof that they truly care for each other even when not under the spotlight, the journalist wrote in an opinion column. Many also questioned HYB's decision not to release this information to the public. Is it because Taehyung's condition isn't yet stable? Or are there other factors they are strategically considering? A source mentioned that HYB is currently undergoing intense internal discussions about the future activities of BTS members post-military, especially in terms of rescheduling individual and group plans. Taehyung's health is reportedly one crucial variable in these talks. Questions have also arisen about Taehyung's comeback plans. Some fans mentioned that Taehyung had hinted about releasing a solo album after his military discharge. But now, many predict that all those plans may be indefinitely postponed. This raises further concern among fans waiting for new work from the talented artist. Jungkook, to this point, has made no official statement or public post regarding the event. However, ARMY believes his silence emphasizes the seriousness of the situation. In one of Jungkook's past live broadcasts that has gone viral again, he once said, "When someone you love is weak, you don't always need to speak. Just be there and do something that matters." Many relate this quote directly to what he allegedly did for Taehyung. Will Jungkook's actions change BTS's internal dynamics moving forward? Will HYB issue a clarification or choose to keep Taehyung's condition private for his comfort? These questions continue to linger, but one thing is certain. This moment shows that even when there are no cameras and no stage, the emotional bonds and sincere support among BTS members remain strong and very real. After a more in-depth search of the information that circulated and the claims that formed the basis of the previous news, it can be concluded that to date, there is no concrete evidence or official statements from the authorities confirming the truth of the narrative about Kim Taehyung's declining health condition or the emotional actions of Jungkook, who is rumored to have secretly visited Taehyung in an emergency situation. There was no release from HYB, either through a written statement or a press conference, which mentioned that Taehyung was in critical condition or had medical complications after serving his military service. Rumors that Taehyung is experiencing a drastic decline in health also cannot be verified through official information channels. There was no digital trace of the military hospital, medical staff, or management stating that Taehyung needed additional treatment. In addition, there is no documentation or evidence of photos, videos, or statements from witnesses that support the claim that Jungkook visited the hospital secretly with Taehyung's personal belongings. Even some accounts that had spread this information on social media have actually deleted their uploads after getting criticism from the fan community who asked for accuracy and accountability in spreading the news. Emotional claims about Jungkook's crying in the treatment room, handwritten letters, and the involvement of HYB staff in accompanying the visit have so far not been corroborated by reliable media in South Korea. No major news outlets such as Dispatch, Simpy, or Naver News carried similar reports or followed up on the issue with follow-up coverage. This indicates that the stories spread are most likely only based on assumptions, misinformation, or even opinion fabrications developed through online forums and social media. Keep in mind, BTS is a group with a very high level of media scrutiny and exposure. Every step of its members, especially when it comes to medical conditions or deep emotional involvement like this narrative, is almost impossible to escape the public eye. Thus, the absence of major media coverage of major events such as Taehyung's alleged decline in health and Jungkook's secret visit is a strong indication that this news is most likely just an exaggerated rumor. In addition, based on the monitoring of the BTS members' social media activities, there is no signal or indication that something serious is happening. Taehyung himself was seen active through his personal platform and interacting with fans normally some time ago. Jungkook did not show any remarkable emotional signs or significant behavioral changes as described in the speculative narrative and the world of the entertainment industry, especially when it comes to public figures like BTS. It is not uncommon for rumors and gossip to spread quickly, especially if they touch the emotional side of fans. Unfortunately, not all information in circulation has a verifiable basis. Issues related to health, personal relationships, and emotional actions of idols are often easy targets to exaggerate in order to get attention on social media and clicks on online platforms. Nor can we close our eyes that today's content ecosystem is highly competitive. Many content creators, entertainment blogs, and unofficial news channels are vying to produce news in the style of clickbait and dramatic narratives in order to get high engagement. In this process, not a few ignore the basic principles of journalism such as verification, clarification, and accuracy of information. It is important to note that spreading untrue news, especially when it comes to a person's state of health, can be bad not only for the artist in question, but also for fans and the environment. Unnecessary worries, public anxiety, even conflicts between fans can arise only because of an unfounded information. In some extreme cases, this can even cause psychological stress for the idol and his family. Therefore, the public, especially fans, are expected to be wiser and more critical in responding to the information they find, especially if the information does not come from official sources such as agencies, credible media, or direct statements from the artist in question. Don't easily believe stories based solely on inside sources, reported by anonymous accounts, or leaked by anonymous hospital staff. All of those are red flags that should be a warning signal to any reader. Concluding this conclusion, it should be emphasized that the narrative that mentions Jungkook crying because of Taehyung's reportedly deteriorating condition, as well as the existence of emotional visits made secretly by Jungkook, has no solid factual basis and is not supported by official statements from any party. This narrative is the result of a construction that relies on emotion and imagination, not journalistic facts. As a large and influential community, the Army is expected to continue to promote the principles of prudence and responsibility in disseminating and consuming information. Don't let the initial intention to show support and attention to idols actually turn into pressure or interference because of spreading invalid news. Until there is an official statement from the relevant parties, we should assume that Taehyung is fine and that Jungkook is living his life normally like other public figures who also need privacy space. Excessive speculation will only hurt all parties, and what is needed right now is respect for the personal limits of the artist who has given everything for the fans.